What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nintendo Power Block for February 13th, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is that guy, that retro code, Edward Varnell.
Yoshi! Yosh. Hey, everybody.
Man, dude. Ah!
Yes!
Man, dude, look, very rarely do I try to be like super excited when I'm tired. I mean, I do. I try hard sometimes. But last night was so much fun. So, okay, if you guys don't listen to our other show, our Xbox show, Arsenal X, last night, Ed, Jesse, and I, instead of doing a proper podcast, because there's like literally no Xbox news right now,
pretty much
decided to do a test run on movie commentary, and we watched the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and we did a movie commentary for the show instead. And I'm very excited about it because I just edited it. It's super just, it's got, so good. Oh, I can't wait for people to watch it or see it. But you, like, we did like a commentary track for the movie. We literally watched the movie and commentated on top of the movie. So you have to watch the movie to listen. I mean, you don't have to, but I mean, it's recommended, highly recommended, because yeah, that's how we did it. So
yes, man,
I'm really excited for that commentary track to go up. So if you go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/NGRradio, there will be a movie commentary playlist up hopefully by Wednesday when you see this, because that's when Arsenal X usually goes up. And I'm going to try to make an audio feed for it. So yeah, I'm really excited. Ed, that was so much fun last night. Oh, that would be so good.
Yes. I love it. And everybody, so we did, just like Corey said, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first movie. And in the coming weeks, we'll be doing, sometime hopefully next month, we'll be doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. So you guys will be able to check that one. But we're also going to do something for Power Block.
Yeah. I think our goal for Power Block is to do a Super Mario Brothers commentary of the original Mario Brothers movie.
And everybody, this would be my first time watching that movie.
Oh no, dude, it is so bad. Like, it's fine, but it's bad. Like, it's not like it's acted bad or anything, you know. It's not like that kind of bad. It's just like, it leaves you scratching your head, like, what is this movie and why did they call it Super Mario Brothers?
Right.
I mean, that's what it is. It's not like, I mean, it has a lot of talented actors in it, like, you know, Bob Hoskins and Dennis Hopper and John Leguizamo. Like, it has a lot of good talent in it. It's just like, what is this? And I mean, I honestly haven't watched it since I was a little kid either. Like, I don't even own it on DVD or Blu-ray or anything. I just have the VHS tape. So like, it's, yeah.
You know what? I've never had a desire to watch it.
I mean, I watched it when I was little because, like, I love Mario, but like at the same time, it's like, yeah. Anyways. What have you been playing, Ed? Besides us talking about Ninja Turtles with Jesse for the last
dude, I literally want an arcade game to come back out. I
literally, ever since we saw that Injustice trailer, like the new one, not the first one, but the new one, we haven't shut up about Ninja Turtles. And like, what I would really like is, like, I want Warner Brothers to like, I still don't know if they officially have the license from Nickelodeon to make the Turtles games, but like, even like before, I want the Arkham style game, right? Like the Arkham Asylum style game, or I would rather it be like Arkham City, like an open world, like maze, like sewers, Metroid style game through the sewers. But like, I want them to make Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter 2. And like maybe make it like a tag team game where you have two people,
Yes.
like 2 or 3 teammates, and just like that's what I want. I want it built in the Injustice engine and like have the loot stuff that Injustice has, the cool story mode that Injustice has. Just give it to me, man. Just give it to me. That's all I want. You know how many cool characters you could have in that game? You know how many cool villains you could have and cool like sidekicks and Easter eggs? Like you can even throw the weird girl turtle in from the next mutation. I don't care. Like,
Dude, I literally would put the original tournament fighters from both Nintendo and Sega cast together, and then just add a whole bunch of new ones. Like go out like it's Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Like literally just give us a list of Ninja Turtle characters.
Yeah, like for real. Like you could have like Rat King and Leatherhead
Yes.
and Slash and just you could have
Rat King.
Toka and Razor and Bebop and Rocksteady and Baxter Stockman.
I would team up Rat King and Casey Jones and just see what crazy combos they could do together.
Yeah, I mean, Casey Jones would be awesome, man. Like, ooh, I want it so bad. I want it. You could put Kino in there. You could put you could put you could put the weird kid from the first movie in there. His special move would just be whining at his dad. It's just Dan now, okay?
Daddy. That movie is so good. But back to what I've been playing. Graceful Explosion Machine for Switch have 3 more levels, then I'll be finished with that game. Everything will be unlocked. I'll have my score. Lost Sphere, Blastmaster Zero, The Mummy Demastered. I got to jump back into it for Golf Story, because our great friend Jesse Douglas, he's been playing it, so I need to catch up with him on that. For PS4 and Xbox One, I've been playing Monster Hunter World. Further in the Xbox One version than the PS4, so I gotta just kind of catch up. If you look on our Nerds Gone Rogue page on Facebook, you can see my pictures on it. On Arsenal X, you can see my character, and on Nerds Gone Platinum, you can see my character there for the PlayStation 4. And kind of enjoying it, not having a problem with it. I hopefully I customize more for my character, like change the equipment, everything later on. But enjoying that. Iconoclast, I'm also playing on PS4. I feel like I'm halfway through that game because it is quite long. But Yakuza 0 is what I've been playing. My 3DS, my 2DS XL ran out of battery power, so I need to charge it so I can get back to my Hunter stories. I know. But that's pretty much what I've been playing. Hopefully soon I'll be jumping into Hellblade and going to be trying to work on that game because I'm planning on having a discussion about that with our good friend JC White later on next month. So I want to get that game done and experiencing it.
Nice.
So yeah.
Honestly, this weekend was so busy that I honestly haven't played anything. Yeah, I can't even like make something up right now. Like I haven't even played anything. I need to get back to Celeste and Super Meat Boy before Bayonetta 2 comes out. What are you eating there, Ed? What do you got there? Pizza? Oh my gosh, I hate you so much. I want to finish these 2 games before Bayonetta 2 comes out. Because, Bayonetta's Friday. I need it. I'm seeing all these videos go up now because like the costumes can be unlocked by the amiibo now. They can, instead of like going through and unlocking them or whatever.
Right.
So I need to finish these two games because I want to play Bayonetta 1 and I want to play Bayonetta 2. I want to play them in order. I want to play through them the whole way, you know. Plus, like, last night we recorded a bunch of stuff, but, like, this weekend I've been, like, you know, I've been trying to figure out how we can add content to the YouTube page and stuff. And, you know, the movie commentaries is a good one. I haven't had a lot of time, and you know, in the next couple days, maybe by next episode, I'll announce some things that, you know, have happened to me. But, like, you know, let's just say in the near future, I'm gonna have a lot more time to actually do the things that we keep saying we're gonna do, and just haven't gotten to it. You know, like pod and plays and let's plays in general and stuff like that.
Yes.
So, plus, like, people have commented and said that, like, we do a lot of stuff for not making any money anyway. But, like, you know, we don't really do it for that. We do it because it's fun and we like to do it. And,
right.
You know, so, but, anyways, you know, I've been making a list of things I would like to do personally, and then maybe group stuff, that we've already talked about doing and need to do, or just, you know, so, but yeah, I honestly haven't played anything since we recorded this show last. Like, I even made the mistake of, instead of posting the show at 10 a.m. on Friday, I posted it at 10 p.m. on accident. So, like, I'm sorry everybody for that. I don't even know what was happening. Like, I just, but anyways,
life.
Yeah, life is happening in some ways. So.
Yes.
Honestly, there's not a ton of news, but the only real thing is that Splatoon 2 is getting a starter edition. It's similar to the Explorers Pack that Zelda came with, like the later release of Zelda, the Explorers Pack, where it comes with a for the same price as the regular edition. It's the starter edition includes the game, a 100-page strategy guide, 2 sheets of Splatoon stickers, and the bundle will be released on March 16th. It's similar to the Explorer edition of Zelda, like I just said before. So that's cool.
Yeah, I might.
I think it's a cool way to entice people to pick up the game that haven't already.
Well, I think it's cool. I'm actually gonna probably end up picking up that version of the game. I like the little things that they add to it.
Yeah, I think it's cool too. I like when they do that, like maybe like 6 to 10 months after release. They kind of just like give you a little bit more incentive to buy the game. So
yeah,
it's cool. Okay, we're going to do these last couple news stories, and we're going to get into our question block. We have a few questions. We might not get to all of them today, just because of time, and for some reason we started recording NGR radios on Monday nights now again. So, but yeah, Ubisoft is the leading third-party publisher on Switch due to the success of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle and Just Dance series. So, and Rayman Legends in there too. So, I think that's good. I like Ubisoft on Switch. I think Ubisoft is the most Nintendo third-party publisher.
Right.
So, yay!
And shout out to Bethesda also, because they've been getting a lot of love and getting some good sales. So hopefully they continue to support more Switch also.
Right.
So we'll see what Ubisoft does in the future.
Yeah, give me Rayman 3 or something.
Yes.
At some point. The last little bit of news here, Nintendo reveals 2 new Splatoon 2 amiibo. So Pearl and Marina will be coming in a 2-pack later this year for $25. I'm shocked that this took so long, to be honest with you. Shocked.
I definitely plan on getting it.
Oh yeah, I do too, but I'm just saying I'm shocked that it took this long to get them out. So
that it's just, yeah. It, you know what? They probably had it in the works. Probably had it in their marketing planning and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a good time to put these out too, because of they're essentially relaunching the game with that starter pack. So this is cool too.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there was a point where there was so much Nintendo news we had to do like extra shows during the week just to make sure everybody was caught up on everything. But for now, there is nothing. Knock on wood. Knocking on wood. We will. I mean, like, we're still waiting for that next direct. The Nintendo Online stuff keeps getting teased, but not anything really announced yet. September it's coming for $20, but we're gonna get in some of these into the question block. Remember, you can email us. What, Ed? You just read like something important is happening.
Yes. Fear Effect Sedna will be releasing on March 6th for $19.99 on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. It is the Kickstarter game.
That's not the remake, is it? That's the new one, right? Because that company's remaking the first game. Also.
I think so. Publisher Forever Entertainment they got a trailer out. It shows off some of the gameplay. I think it's the remake of the first one. But yeah, they just announced it. This is on Destructoid. But yeah, I think it's the remake of the first one. But for $20, March 6th on Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
So there's no announcement of physical or anything, so I guess this is just going to be a digital copy first.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be one of those things that the physical will come later if there's demand for it. So gotta wait till May for Owlboy. Just that physical copy.
Wow. So, I wonder when that game is actually dropping.
It's out like next week. Owlboy?
Oh.
Or this week. It should be out tomorrow. The 13th. It's out the 13th. So it'll be out by the time this posts.
Okay.
So
yeah, I just see that Nintendo Life did a review for it. So
yeah, it should be out by the time this posts. So, but we'll get into all like the indie stuff coming, and we're gonna do our month in review later on in the month. So, we'll do all that. We'll get to the indie stuff on Friday's episode, all that stuff. But for now, we did promise you a full kind of episode of Question Block, so
yes,
let's get to these questions. Ed, I'm sorry I didn't get these to you, but
that's okay.
I just put them in a document when I got home from work today. So
I like to be surprised.
We have a lot of Metroid this time around.
Okay.
I mean, it's a big topic right now, so but Megan Green asks, do you think we'll see Retro's new IP this year, since Metroid is being handled by another developer? If so, what do you think it is? If not, what do you think they are working on?
We will see what Retro's next game will be. I'm hinting at E3. That's what I believe, or fall direct sometime. I think it's going to be a team-rated kind of third-party, over-the-shoulder action game. I think. I kind of hope that if it's not that, I kind of would like them to see if they could do a DMC style kind of action game, like just an action adventure style game. I kind of would like to see what their take on it, or their take on Rise of the Tomb Raider. I would like to see some kind of game from them on that. What was the third question, Corey?
If it's not a new IP, what IP do you think they're working on?
If it's not a new IP that they're not working on, because it's supposed to be their own. I think they are probably taking one of their lower end IPs. I know Nintendo said they were trying to express more in that style of game. So,
what What if they made an open world Box Boy game?
That'd be interesting. That literally will be
Like
interesting.
it would pretty much just be like The Witness, but Box Boy.
Pretty much. um, I, hmm, I kind of thinking that because they're not doing Donkey Kong. I know that much.
Yeah,
Um,
I would be shocked if they were doing a third Donkey Kong game.
you know what? I would kind of like them to see that disaster report that they did for Wii.
Disaster report. What?
I think because it's already translated in English, but it never came to America, and I don't know if that's a Nintendo property. I'm assuming it is. Uh, if not, uh, I because there it has to be an action. What is the one? I keep talking about this, I keep forgetting. Maybe they're doing Eternal Darkness.
Yeah.
I could see them their take on Eternal Darkness, or the one that Geist.
Jeez. No, not Geist. No.
But
No.
but
No.
I'm going to go with Eternal Darkness. I think they could really do a good job in that atmosphere, um, and really make it scary. I think Retro's good at doing a sci-fi psychedelic horror kind of style game. I could see them doing something like that.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think we're gonna see Retro's new IP at E3 this year. It's been way too long.
Yes.
It's been 5 years at this point since their last game came out, and like, I know that I don't think they're porting the Donkey Kong. I don't think they're porting Tropical Freeze. I don't know if they're like, if they had a small team work on it or add the Funky Kong stuff, but like, that's not their main project. If it like, yeah, I think we'll see their new project at E3. My first thought was, maybe their new IP is going to be like a first person, like puzzly kind of interconnected world style thing similar to Metroid. But Larry brought up a good point on World 1-1 when we were talking about this, and like, I knew what he was saying, but I never really put it together. Like, I knew people left, right? I knew people left Retro to go to Armature or 343. Like, people, like some of the Metroid team went to work on Halo. And it's very evident in Halo 4, which is why I really like that game. It's got so much like the bright oranges and the line work and the suits and stuff.
Like the look of it when they first showed the trailer, I was just like, "This is very Metroid-ish."
I mean, just make Master Chief's suit orange and red, and we could just have a Metroid game.
Pretty much, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, but the more I thought about it, like, it seemed that team was transitioning more to like the 2D space with Donkey Kong, which, Donkey Kong Returns and Tropical Freeze are two really, really awesome 2D platformers. And I was trying to think of what they could do in that space. Like, maybe like a 2D Kid Icarus of some kind, but at that point, like, I know that team wants to do something ambitious and something that people can be proud of, like,
right,
and something that isn't really seen on a Nintendo console. Then I started thinking, I want them to like reach back, like you were saying, like a sci-fi horror-y game, but put it in a first-person shooter space and make it feel like the Nintendo 64 style first-person shooters, like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. Like, not like make it an old game like that, but like have that atmosphere and have that kind of close quarters kind of feel to it.
The aesthetic,
but make it a horror, like a dark horror sci-fi game, kind of like almost like a first-person Dead Space almost, with puzzles.
Ooh, yes.
Like with a puzzly interconnected world, like you're stuck on like a spaceship or a space station or something similar to Dead Space, but it's like from a first person's perspective, and it has this really cool kind of like, imagine like a perfect dark horror aesthetic to it.
Yes.
It looks all colorful and stuff, but it's got a horror vibe to it, like that kind of game. And really like make crafty puzzles and cool bosses and cool like enemy designs. Like I really think that might be what they're going for, and like maybe make it more like kind of like a Metroid-y thing where like you have to unlock like this section of the space station by getting to another area or getting a cool weapon or keys or something cool, like a new tool that you can use, almost like an Alien Isolation type vibe too, maybe, where like, maybe there's a creature on this space station that's chasing you.
Because that is one thing about retros, that they're not really known for a narrative, and I think we're all fine with that.
Yeah,
we
that's what
love
I'm
them for.
Like, we don't need a narrative, but they are very good at atmosphere. They are very good at creating like a world you want to be in without necessarily telling a story. Not that like Metroid Prime's story is bad or anything. It's just not like.
But if you want the story, you go out and search for it,
right?
Like doing with all the scanning. So it could almost be the same thing as that Dead Space-ish style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I could see that happening, because I think that's what for most of us, that we want from retro. It's just like, give us that atmosphere and give us that action, that exploration, which you guys are known for.
Yeah.
Like,
I would like another Eternal Darkness, and I would like something like that. And like my only fear is that like maybe they will attach a name of an IP that Nintendo owns to this project to try to get it to sell more that isn't exactly what the IP is, kind of like what Arcane did with Prey, where like they own the Prey IP, but it's not attached to that first game at all, and like maybe people would like see like if they attach the Eternal Darkness name to this, but it wasn't like that first game. I think
right.
I think the IP I just described, Eternal Darkness, is a cool name for it, and maybe set it in like the same type of universe, or maybe like the story can be like this person's being experimented on, whatever, and like maybe it'll take concepts from that first game, like turning up your volume or erasing your memory card or whatever, but like apply it to today's type of systems, and maybe like, I don't know, maybe your Joy-Con will become disconnected or something. I don't know. Like, I guess they could take concepts from that first game and put it in this game I just described.
Right.
Maybe set it in an Eternal Darkness universe, and they can just be like parallel universes, or...
I mean, it could be a sequel, because Eternal Darkness itself, I think, concluded all. So if retro did take the Eternal Darkness name and put it in the setting, it could be a sequel, or it could be like a side project, or a pre-sequel or something like that.
Yeah, something I was thinking of too. Like, I mean, even something I just thought of, actually, not I was thinking also, but like you saying that, like how Cloverfield, like the movie series Cloverfield does, where like, Eternal Darkness could be their Cloverfield, where like, the Eternal Darkness was Cloverfield 1, and then this game is still part of that thing, universe, but it's something totally different, and then something like that.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, a Dead Space-ish, perfect dark from retro. Like, I would have to see the trailer, and 80s, I would have to get my
sci-fi horror vibe.
Yes,
first person shooter, kind of survival horror-ish almost, but not really, like light on the survival aspects, but super dark and scary.
I am 500% with that. I need that now.
Nailed it. Nintendo, you can have that one for free as long as I get a free copy. There you go. And Ed too. Ed can have a free copy too.
Yeah, like retro. Cause and it's so good because Retro Studios doing the '80s game, like it fits the company name just right. Yes.
I know. Oh,
Oh, dude, I literally will need that. I would get jealous because I would be like, you playtesters are so lucky that you are probably playing this and testing everything, and I want my hands on it now. Like if Nintendo was just like, you guys could play a trial demo on your Nintendo Switch starting today after the E3 Direct, or like on a Friday or something after the Treehouse Live is over with. I think hopefully the servers will get crashed because people will be trying to download the game.
yeah. Yeah. And then like somehow like like you can play the original game in this game somehow. Like maybe he just has like a
Oh,
GameCube sitting in his like the test subject's room or whatever. Something dumb
the
like
fu-
that.
the future. Well, if it's stuck in the '80s, it can't be the GameCube. But if
That's
it's like
true.
in the future,
Yeah.
then yeah, they can have the GameCube.
Yeah.
I yes, dude, yes.
Oh, man. Man.
Oh, 80s. Oh, yeah, I would love that '80s aesthetic, like kind of fear. Oh, yes, because then whatever they do, please do not make it like the Harrison Ford movie,
Blade
um
Runner?
Blade Runner. Like we already have Snatcher. That's right there. But yeah, I could see that.
Uh
Oh, dang! Now I gotta kind of go through '80s like sci-fi horror. That like, what would they touch?
yeah, I don't know. Ugh, I
Because
don't know.
everybody, of course, a lot of people would think of aliens too. I'm like, but there's more.
Yeah, but like here's the thing, like there's so much in like that kind of 80s sci-fi stuff that has been explored. Like it doesn't need to do something like brand new. It just needs a hook. It just needs that.
Right.
It just needs like a not like something different, but almost like a twist on that formula, or like just like enough of a hook that makes it different enough that it's like, okay, I like this type of thing, but this makes it a little bit different, you know?
It has a B movie-ish kind of feel because you're going to find a lot of weird but cool sci-fi stuff in the B movie genre.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm about to get talk to Jesse Douglas.
But I mean, I don't. Man, what IP are they working on if they're not doing their new one? I don't care. Like they deserve to work on a new IP. They've done so much
Yes,
good stuff for Nintendo. 5 games that are like nines or above. They deserve a chance to work on a new IP. So
and I think retro. I think they're happy that people are still talking about them, and people are just like excited to see what's coming
well,
new
they're
from.
they're the new Rare, right? Except for like their games take forever to come out, where Rare was putting out like 4 games a year.
Well, I don't think they're the new rare.
No, I meant
I
I don't.
just
I just
I
meant
mean
like people are excited to see what they're working on. You know, like
yes.
people like it's just so rare to have Nintendo own part of a Western developed team that has so much talent that like people are excited to see what they're working on because Nintendo in Japan and even Treehouse stuff like that stuff comes out a lot more frequent than what Retro puts
Yes.
out. And like it's just like, okay, it's been a while. Retro's a studio people like. What are they working on? Type situation. So
Yes. It's like yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, our next question comes from Deshaun Malone. He says, "What franchise needs a sequel on Switch, and how would you change it up or keep it the same?" I mean, I've already said I think Kid Icarus, like a vertical style Breath of the Wild makeover.
Hmm.
I I mean, we've talked about this a couple times on the show. I think Kid Icarus with a cool Breath of the Wild vibe to it. You know, an open world kind of almost RPG light type thing where like maybe you put a little bit of light Metroid elements in there too, where like okay, I got this, and it unlocks this area of the map, and maybe I'll just go explore that area of the map. It doesn't need to be as complicated as Zelda, because Kid Icarus, no offense, Kid Icarus, but it's not going to sell as much as Zelda did, like ever. So,
Yeah.
um,
Um, for me, I'm going to go with Sin and Punishment 3. I think a lot of people still miss 1 and 2. And of course, a collection would be awesome, like a treasure collection on Switch would just be
gosh,
awesome in total.
could you imagine sending Punishment in HD on a big TV, but like with today's tech, like all this stuff happening on screen at once, where like you're almost overwhelmed with enemies.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, because I own Sin and Punishment 2, and that game needs more love. Like it's for people who don't understand Space Harrier from the Sega days of the 80s. That's what Sin and Punishment it has that feeling of, with a mix of a little bit of Star Fox in a sense. But I can literally see them um mixing up that 3D area kind of gameplay with some 2D side scrolling. Like Treasure is known for good shooters and difficult platforming. So I could see Nintendo just giving Treasure another chance to be like, hey, let's do an eShop thing. Let's do a digital only game. And here's the money. You guys make Sin and Punishment 3 and bring it to Switch.
yeah.
And I like, if I think people who really want to play a difficult game that's just not created to be difficult, say, meaning like, oh, the Dark Souls games, okay, that is difficult, but really, if you change like the enemy hits, it'll be an easy game. But like, you have to be quick in a treasure game and Sin and Punishment. You literally have to be aware of what's going on in the screen and be quick. So I could see that arcade style gameplay being on Switch or Sin and Punishment 3 of Nintendo was working with Treasure to make that happen. That's what I would love to see.
Yeah. I would also like to see new Super Mario Brothers Switch or Super Mario 3D World 2.
I think that's in the work. I think
know.
that's
That
coming in
stuff
2019.
That stuff is I mean, yeah. Yeah, what you said. Mohammed asks, what genre do you think is missing from Nintendo's library?
Um, well, we got JRPGs. We got um we're starting to get a lot of the MMO PC-ish isometric games. So we're starting to get that. Um Fighters, as Neil well, Hamster is taking care of that fighters with some of the old games, but we're starting to get more of those, like with SNK Heroes. Um I think what we're missing is just some of the action games, like third person action games. Once again, I mentioned like DMC, like we're missing that, and we're kind of missing like the Rise of the Tomb Raider adventure games. um like we got a lot of stuff on the indie side covered, that's 16 32-bit, that kind of all that genre stuff. We got that covered, but I think the action and the adventure genre we're really missing on Switch at the moment.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, I don't really miss any of that genre because there's so much of it on PlayStation and Xbox. That I'm just like, I don't like.
It's
I want Tomb Raider on Switch, like,
Mhm.
but I mean, you look at PlayStation's lineup, like it's all over the shoulder kind of action, third person action adventure-y with light
Yeah.
RPG elements like Horizon, God of War, Last of Us, Uncharted. Like it's all there. Tomb Raider, even like I get it. Like Nintendo's kind of missing that, and like Zelda kind of scratches that itch a little bit, but it's so
Yes.
different from like Tomb Raider and stuff that it's like, yeah, I get it. They're missing that, but at the same time, it's like do we really need that genre on Switch? And like, I don't think we
I,
do. I think Nintendo
I,
does a good enough job of diversifying their
right.
portfolio that it's like,
I think we need that genre from different companies. You know, people who haven't really dived into that genre of like I could see Bethesda doing something like an action adventure game exclusively for Switch. I could see maybe Blue Point or something porting something over, or Panic Button. They're like the hotness right now when it
I
comes to
know.
porting. like I could see some of that stuff maybe from like collections or something, just something that we haven't experienced or we forgot in the past to get new life on it. Because it's not cluttering the Switch, but I'm just like, that's something that's missing at the moment. Like maybe 2 or 3 adventure action games would be good. Yeah, we don't need a Gears of War style game like every 2 or 4 months or anything like that. We just need a good game that we could jump in. It could be some dumb fun, and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what genre are they missing? I mean, like, it's not that they're missing anything. They just have IP that are dormant, that would fit in a like a nice little. If Nintendo, like, I don't. Let me start over. Nintendo has a bunch of dormant IP that
Yes.
they're either saving or they're in development, or like, Nintendo works differently from other companies where like they their developers make concepts and then they develop a game around the concept, right? That's how Mario
Yes.
Sunshine is. That's how Pikmin was. Like, that's how they do a lot of their development. And so, I mean, that's essentially what happened to Star Fox Zero, right? They had this concept and they put it into the packing game Star Fox Guard. So like it's weird because like maybe they haven't come up with a concept that would fit Eternal Darkness yet. Maybe they haven't come up with a new concept that would be cool in a new Luigi's Mansion game.
Yes.
That kind of stuff. So plus like they have so much third party support. Like Nintendo's clearly missing in the first person shooter genre. But look, Bethesda's taking care of that with Doom and Wolfenstein 2, and they've got Splatoon, which is like, it's not a first person shooter, but it's their own shooter that's really good, and Metroid Prime's on the way. So, they have that genre covered in other ways. Survival horror. We talked about Eternal Darkness, but they have Resident Evil Revelations right now. They have
Yes.
indie games that are taking care of some of these genres. And it wouldn't surprise me if Capcom was like, "Hey, guess what, guys? Resident Evil 0 through 7 coming to Switch next year." like it seriously would not surprise me at all.
Right.
So, man, wouldn't that be cool if we got like the
And a lot of Konami's old games and maybe a revival of Hudson Soft, like some of that stuff is missing. Like we don't have a Hudson Soft collection. Like the old school collection games, I think will be fitting on Switch because it Switch could somewhat not only turn into an indie machine, third party Nintendo machine, like it really could be home for some past great arcade games and
it already
Japanese
is
arcade games.
with
I mean, with Hamster and the SNK games, yeah. But I'm just like, there are arcade games from Konami and Capcom that's in Japan that never came to America. There's games on Japan that never came to America, in Europe that never came to America, that I think will fit so good on Switch because you get that experience on the go.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard to say what they're missing because they do such a good job of diversifying everything. Like there's games that I would like to see a Switch iteration of, like Paper Mario, Mario and Luigi,
Yes.
Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin, like smaller games that maybe won't sell 4 or 5 million copies, but would sell maybe 1 million. That I would like to see. But that
Right.
doesn't necessarily mean that they're missing. So, I don't know, man. That's a hard question. I don't even know.
I think we answered it. I
Yeah,
think we tackled it.
I mean, we walked next to it. We pushed it in the water.
Splash.
Yeah, splash. Brian Marshall asks, he asks, I found you guys when I was looking for Nintendo shows after I bought the Switch in January. I like your show. It's very good. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
My question is this. Do you think Nintendo should take the Apple approach and release iterations of the Switch instead of just making a new console in 6 to 7 years? Thanks, guys.
No. Uh, Nintendo, if they're going to release a new console, not handheld console, they're going to work on it. They're going to be innovative and try to look at the lowest tech that's cheap and try to be able to make something that could run on it and make a profit off of it. Like Nintendo is thinking smart that, you know, when you have to make a console, you don't want to make it as big and all this great graphics and stuff still look like a PS3, Xbox 360 game, which has deeper colors, and you're not making a profit off that system to 2 or 3 years after it's been on the market. Nintendo wants to make something that is easier to understand, easier to grab your hands on, and start making profit right out the door. You know,
Yeah.
with Apple, they can have all those iterations, but they're charging so much for it, and you pretty much have to upgrade to that system can't do no newer update or anything. Where Nintendo was not like that. You know, Nintendo's just like, we want to make a system that you guys could be able to afford, have some great games on, and while you enjoying it, we make a profit and we'll be able to market to everybody for it. So I don't think they should do the Apple route.
Yeah.
Plus, Nintendo wants you to have a good battery and not lie to you about it.
This is a tricky question because, like, in their handheld line, their handheld line's been doing this forever, right? Because like they went from the Game Boy, and I'm not talking like put out a new Sorry, I have so many thoughts going through my head. Let me organize them again. My bad.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No,
I've been
go
listening.
ahead.
I've been listening to our shows, trying to try to learn from like how I'm presenting my speech and stuff, and like I stumble across words a lot, and like I'm trying to organize my thoughts. So I'm trying to be a better podcaster. My thought is this: what Apple does is put out a new thing every year, and it's disgusting. Like, I'm sorry, I love Apple products. Like, I like my laptop, my Apple laptop, and I love my phone, and I like the iPad. But there is no reason to be putting out that product every year. No reason. Phones, I understand, but like an iPad, no. A new version of a desktop every year, no. That stuff does not, like, it just doesn't need to happen, right? It just doesn't. There's no reason. Nintendo's been doing the Apple approach to their handhelds for years since the Game Boy, but at a way, 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 way slower pace, right? Because like you went from the Game Boy, and then when Pokemon like revitalized everything, you went to the Game Boy Color. But before that, you had the Game Boy Pocket, which was just a smaller version of the Game Boy and a pretty version. The Game Boy Pocket might be my favorite version of the Game Boy ever because it's compact, and like if they ever do like a Game Boy Classic, that's what I think they're gonna do is like a nice sleek backlit black and white screen that is the Game Boy Pocket. Like, oh, it'd be so good. I would love it. That's what I want from the next handheld system. I want a Game Boy Pocket, just like a simple version of the Game Boy Pocket, and that's all I want. But it plays like cool Game Boy games. But anyways, back to my thought. And then they came out with the DS, and the DS line has done this, right? Where like they had the DS Fat, the DS Lite, the DSi, the DSi XL, the 3DS, the new 3DS, the new 3DS XL, now the new 2DS. Like, their handheld lines have been doing this like secretly through the last 3 decades. So honestly, I could see them doing this with a Switch in the same way, where like, they're like, hey, not now, maybe in like 2 or 3 years, they say, hey, we have a Switch Deluxe or Switch Plus or whatever, where like the tablet is more powerful, can handle more powerful games, but that's because the tech that, maybe some people argue they should have used in the Switch now is readily available, it's cheaper, and they can make the same amount of money off this product by just making this more powerful thing, but it'll give them the same amount of money back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And people can keep their old iterations if they want, because all Nintendo games will still run perfectly well. All indie games will run well on this. It's just like, if you are a hardcore Nintendo person who, upgrades every time a new console comes out, like I have, and you want to play Doom 2 on it, or Wolfenstein 3, or Elder Scrolls 6, or whatever big games are coming out for Switch at that time, maybe it would be smarter to upgrade to this version, and it would just sit next to the new version, similar to what the 3DS does. There's a way that they can work both angles, where like, they iterate on the Switch, but maybe in 7 or 8 years, because that story came out that said they want the Switch to last longer than the 5 to 6 year life cycle.
Yes.
And this is the way they could do that while coming up with their next console or their next handheld or next box or whatever, because like, I just think that that's what's going to happen.
Nintendo evolves their handheld because it's limited lower tech. So when that new iteration comes out of that same line, playing the same old games, they want to show why the new product is better. So so you're upgrading to better product. For consoles, I think, and this is just like I said, my viewpoint. For consoles, I think Nintendo would rather just invest into new tech to make a new system when it's time to move on. Now, if they do a Switch XL, I think it would be a first to see what they do, and if the new chip that they have in that system is a new customized chip.
Yeah.
So, and that would be what a lot of people will hope for. It's a new chip. So now, hopefully, not only does it process games faster, but it can make your games look better. Which now, if you have it, can some games that some people thought wouldn't be able to be on Switch now come to Switch because of this new version.
Yeah.
So, let's see what happens in the next. I want to say 2021. I want to see, because that'll be 4 years from now, to see if Nintendo, right, just to see if Nintendo will be ready to do something like that, because they have to market the Switch for the next 3 years.
Yeah,
they gotta. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say they're in such a unique position right now,
right,
with this Switch, and like how successful it is, how they can't really change it, and I think this is what happened with the PlayStation 4 Pro, where like so many people had invested in a PlayStation, and like then they put out this quote more powerful box that like people are like, some people felt kind of like screwed over, like why did I invest so much in this box when you're just putting out a better one, and it's like Nintendo's in the unique position where like they can't really do that right now.
Yes.
And I'm not saying they need to do it right now either. Like, I think the Switch, look, Nintendo has since the GameCube has been underpowered, has been, aiming at, gameplay and quote unquote gimmicks to sell their consoles instead of pure horsepower, right? And so that's the unique thing of the Switch is like it's not really a console, but it's not really a handheld. It's literally somewhere in between. It's the console you can take with you, so like it doesn't need to be that powerful. It doesn't need to be running Call of Duty at 4K and 60 frames a second. You know, it doesn't need to be doing that. You know, and Nintendo games will always run just fine. And until the day Nintendo comes out and says, you know, you need to upgrade because of this specific game, like, which they'll never do, like, that's when I think they'll do it. And you know, there's a ton of people who out there who are perfectly fine with their original 3DSs or their original 3DS XLs. You know, okay, so they can't download Super Nintendo Virtual Console games. You know, that I don't think people care because they can go out and buy the Super Nintendo Classic, or they have a Wii U or a Wii that they downloaded those games on anyway.
Right.
Those people are fine not being able to do that, right? And so,
or they hack other machines to play certain games.
Their Raspberry Pis, those types of things. So Nintendo doesn't need to do this at all. And if they do this, I don't think it'll be like you said, 2020, 2021 before they even consider it, because this thing is only on a trajectory way up, and until they start seeing that peak on the way down, they're not going to change their strategy, right? So that's my
yes.
Come on. Our next question comes from these are the Metroid questions, so here we go. Sam Hall asks, why do you think Nintendo chose Bandai Namco for Metroid Prime 4? Do you think it's a weird choice?
No, Nintendo and Bandai Namco has a good relationship. I think they just decided to choose them because they have a bigger company to allow them to work on games for them. Nintendo, when it comes to working with more Japanese companies and now they work more with Platinum, Tecmo Ninja, Koei Tecmo, and Bandai Namco. You know, back in the day, they used to work a lot with Capcom with the Zelda games. Well, that kind of all changed, I think, after the GameCube era. So I think they have just a better trusted relationship with them, and they're easier to work with. So I think that's why if the rumor is true or anything, that they're working with Bandai Namco to do this Metroid game. I think Bandai Namco it's just a bigger company to work on it.
Yeah. And, you know, I think, you know, maybe Bandai Namco doesn't have the first person thing down all the way, because, like, you know, Namco doesn't, they don't really do first person games, right? Like, I think we named one in the entire company's history, right? But what they do well, and not just Bandai Namco, but even the developers that they work with, have a great sense of interconnected worlds, a great sense of, you know, going a place, you can't get there yet, you need to go back and find this item to progress. You know, you look at Dark Souls, you look at Demon Souls, you look at, you know, those types of games that, you know, have huge interconnected worlds. And I know From Software is not the company working on this, but Bandai Namco can definitely reach out to talent there. And, you know, if they don't know what they're doing, they can reach out and learn that talent. They can reach out and say, hey, we can contract some of your developers to help design this world. So in that aspect, I think that Bandai Namco works fantastic. Dark Souls has been such a huge factor in the gaming space in the last decade that, like, Bandai Namco should know what they're doing by now in terms of these types of games. And like I said, From Software, I know isn't owned by Bandai Namco, but they have such a good working relationship, and I'm sure talent crosses over from both the studios all the time. Not all the time, but you know what I mean. So they can reach out to that. I'm sure they've staffed up talent that knows first person stuff. I'm sure some people maybe from Capcom, since it's a Japanese company, Capcom has a lot of experience in the first person space. I'm sure they've staffed up and they are taking every precaution. Plus, I'm sure Nintendo has their thumb on this project, pressing down real hard, making sure that this is polished, this is ready to go. Because the last time a console Metroid came out, even though we enjoyed the game, wasn't very well received and wasn't very, well treated. And the game we got after that was Metroid Prime Federation Force, which I thought was a great idea. And I think the execution wasn't great, but it was also on a handheld that probably wasn't meant for first person shooters. So
pretty much,
I think Bandai Namco and Nintendo collaborating, they've done so much before. Look how much people thought Smash was going to change because instead of in-house, they went to Bandai Namco, which, don't get me wrong, a great fighting game studio, but Smash Brothers has such a specific type of feel and type of game, and Nintendo and them worked on it, and it felt like Smash Wii. It smelled like Smash Melee. The Wii U version is arguably the best version of Smash. So
right, and people laughed at the 3DS version. I'm not buying that. That thing sold 4 million copies.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So Bandai Namco knows what they're doing, especially when Nintendo is collaborating with them. And yes. I'm sure Nintendo wants Metroid Prime 4 to be the best-selling Metroid game. They want it to be. They want it to be the premier first-person game on Switch. So, yeah. I'm sure they're going to try to aim for this game to sell 2 or 3 million copies, and they're going to be happy with it. And they want the quality to be there because, look, we all want Metroid. Metroid is not even in the top 10 selling franchises Nintendo owns. It's sad, right, but it's not. So, and I'm sure Nintendo wants to change that. Fans definitely want that to change because I don't want to miss another generation where Metroid isn't on the generation. And let's not forget, Mercury System could also be. I hope I'm saying that right. Mercury Steam. They could be doing a console version. Who knows? The success of Metroid Samus Returns could lead them into doing that project that we know nothing about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there was that rumor late last year that a 2D Metroid was in development for Switch, in early development. And look, I think honestly, we've talked about this a ton, and Nintendo likes to use the 3DS as an experimental platform, right? Metroid Prime, Samus Returns, I think, is another good one that they're like, let's experiment with Mercury Steam. Let's see if they have the chops to develop a Metroid game. Let's give them Metroid 2. Let's see if they can build a cool concept around this old game. Let's see if they have the chops to do it. Clearly they did. Game Informer gave it a 9.75. So clearly Mercury Steam did a good job on that game.
Yes.
That was their experiment with Mercury Steam. What if, and this actually leads into our last question of the day. Dan Skriller, he asked, do you think we'll see a 2D Metroid game for Switch? If so, how do you want it to look and feel, and who do you want to develop? So I just wanted to get that in there because we're transitioning into that. So
okay. I've already answered this question. So, like I said, if it's a 2D game, I won't wait for it to do it. I just did this literally balls to the walls, crazy, but good controller fun. Don't get me wrong, Mercury Steam, they did a fantastic job, but I know they got their own in-house project that they're working on. Mm-hmm. And they're probably going to be focusing on
projects going on right now, including that free-to-play game that's on PS4. So,
right. So I think Way Forward could do a really great job with it. Art style-wise, Way Forward is good at choosing different arts art styles. So it could have that Samus Return look, but knowing Way For It, they'll put their spin on it with Nintendo. So I think it'll be a real cool. The Aliens game that they did for DS. They could do almost a D-Master 8-bit style version for it and look more, make it look like Super
they
Metroid.
did Mummy Demastered. Look at that.
Pretty much, and Way For It is good at that. So I would put them mostly in their hands.
Yeah, I think like I said, Mercury Steam's 2D Metroid wasn't the experiment to see how well maybe a 2D Metroid would sell. It sold extremely well for a Metroid game. It sold extremely well. People were pleased with it. I think we're gonna get one, honestly. And it wouldn't surprise me if we got one before Metroid Prime 4, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all. And, like, Way Forward would be such a cool idea because of, like, what if they made an anime style
Oh, yes.
Like, it's super flashy. Like, the art is bold. I think that would be cool. Not like a game where it's super Dragon Ball, like flashing and everything going on crazy, but just like the art style would be kind of anime like and super. The colors would be bold. You'd still have the Metroid feel, you'd still go through this planet and backtrack and everything. It'd be everything you'd expect from a Metroid. You just take the art style, like the Shantae art style is very cool. But what if they made it? What if Way Forward took this Shantae art style and made it less? I don't want to say less cartoony, but more like
a Comic Sans almost with deeper colors.
Yeah,
in a way,
and like really, like instead of like Shantae kind of looking like a kid, but like you look at the key art for Shantae, and that's kind of how I would like almost like Samus to look. Almost, I think it would look cool. I think it would look really cool. To have that kind of art style for a Metroid game, and look at it so crisp on an HD screen.
Oh yes,
I think it would just be kind of almost perfect. And I don't need, like, Metroid Prime can be the quote unquote realistic, quote unquote gritty Metroid game, but Metroid is fun. Metroid is colorful. Metroid has all these cool. You look at Super Metroid, and there's so many color palettes working together in that game cohesively. You had the dark blues and purples and greens, and then you get to the lava rooms, and it's red and yellows, just and lasers flying everywhere. Like, you could do that with a hand drawn Shantae art style. You could totally do that, and maybe not art Shantae directly, but like, maybe make Samus look a little bit more proportionate, taller.
You know what? I can actually see Way Forward remaking Super Metroid. I think Super Metroid is in need of a remake right now, and I think Way Forward would do a fantastic job. Like, picture them doing that intro with Ridley eyes showing. Like, I don't know what graphics they would use, but like do maybe almost Comic Sans where it's bold, where it's that bold look to it, kind of almost like Street Fighter 4 in a sense, but like on a smaller scale. Like I think they could really just like redo that game and just be like, goodness, this looks fantastic. Like, I would look more forward to the art style from Way Forward than the gameplay.
Yeah, and like now that we're talking about this, I really want, like, not that I wouldn't say no to a Way Forward Metroid game, but like, I want that. I want the Shantae art style. I want like a Zero Suit stealth section. I want it all, man. I want like a 20-hour like Metroid experience from Way Forward. I really do, man. One huge interconnected world.
Dude, $29.99. I would pay for that physical release.
I would pay $60 for that. For like this huge Metroid experience. $49.99. It comes with the soundtrack.
like it, like wait for a
Trying to
Nintendo.
entice
I
Ed
mean,
to buy
yes.
it with the soundtrack.
I mean, wait for a Nintendo would have to go all in, dude. It's gonna be Metroid 5, or it's going to be a new style of Metroid.
Yeah.
And saying it like it's not so much as a remake or a reimagine, but it's got to fit somewhere in that timeline. But it's not.
What if they marketed it as a Super Metroid remake, but after you beat Super Metroid, it lands you on another planet and it's automatically the sequel to Super Metroid? Ed just fell down, you audio listeners. I think I just... Hey, Ed, let me repeat that. What if they remade Super Metroid, but after you beat Super Metroid, it led you straight into the sequel?
My life right now. The whole game of Super Metroid, or
the whole game. Like they just remake Super Metroid, and then the credits roll, right? The credits roll for Super Metroid, but then there's a cutscene, like a cool anime cutscene that tells the story that between Super Metroid and the next game, like the next part of the game.
Because it would go into it would have to do something before Fusion. Because Fusion is the fourth game. So if they're adding on to Super Metroid, I'm down for that. I would literally be down for that.
Yeah, well, maybe it wouldn't be a sequel. It would just be like a whole nother, like you just keep going or whatever, you know? Like it would be Super Metroid plus a whole nother 7-8 hour campaign thing that happens after Super Metroid.
Something that deals with the baby Metroid dying.
Well,
and before, because because Metroid Fusion cannot happen after that. So there's no connection. Super Metroid, a whole different world before she goes to Metroid Fusion. I can see that happening. I would pay $60 for that with the soundtrack and the art book. I would literally need a art steelbook. Like, wait for it. I'm putting $80 down right now if you let that happen.
Well, I just wrote Nintendo 2 games today. There you go, Nintendo.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So, that's all of our questions. Remember, you can email the show at nintendopowblock@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at NGRPowblock and on Instagram at NintendoPowblock. You can download the show on iTunes, Google Play, and a lot of other podcast services. Watch us on YouTube, youtube.com/NGR Radio. Please subscribe to the YouTube page. Check out Expansion Pack every Monday at noon on our YouTube page, noon Eastern time. We talk about a lot of other stuff. We come up with weird ideas and stuff. So, sometimes during the week, if there's something important that happens, we do a mini block, a 15 to 20 minute video discussing that breaking news topic or whatever. We are going to... Some things are changing with my schedule, but we're still going to do like the reacts to the Nintendo Directs and stuff like that.
Yes.
So keep a lookout for that stuff. Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode, and you can check out my podcast, Optional Opinion, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast apps. My second Bunch of Game Awards is up, so do check it out.
Yeah, you can find me at CoreyNHD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on NGR Radio and a plethora of other podcasts on NGR Radio. So like, subscribe, and share. Download our family of podcasts, Arsenal X. Like I said at the top of the show, Arsenal X just did a Ninja Turtles commentary on the first movie. It was very fun. please go watch it or listen to it or whatever, however you feel the need to watch Ninja Turtles with us in your ear. Download Nerds Gone Rogue, Nerds Gone Platinum, and of course World 11 Podcast, which we're both on. And I think that's it. Like, subscribe, and share to youtube.com/NGR Radio. Click the link right there in the description of your audio podcasts. Even if you don't watch us, just go subscribe. Where our next goal is 500. We get some cool stuff that we'll be able to do some different stuff. So, yeah, like, subscribe, and share. NGRradio.com, where we write stuff. And until Friday, we love you.
Bye, everybody. Woohoo!